Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Daniel, and today we're talking about a very common problem in English learning, freezing when you want to speak.
And I'm Sophie. Oh, Daniel, I know this feeling so well. You have the words in your mind, you want to say something, but suddenly nothing comes out. You freeze.
Exactly. And that's why our episode today is called Stop Freezing When Speaking English. We want to help you understand why it happens and how to deal with it so you can speak with more confidence.
Let's start with the pain point. Many learners study grammar, vocabulary, even watch lots of English movies. But when they have to speak in real life, they freeze. It feels like their brain locks up.
Yes, I hear this from students all the time. They say, Daniel, I know the word, I know the grammar, but when it's my turn to speak, I forget everything.
That was me when I studied German. I remember one day the teacher asked me a simple question. What did you do last weekend? I completely froze. My face turned red, my hands were shaking, and the crazy thing was, I knew the words, but my brain just refused to send them to my mouth.
I had a similar experience with Spanish. I was in a cafe and the waiter asked me what I wanted. I'd practiced the phrase many times at home, but in the moment I froze. I just pointed at the menu because I couldn't say a single word.
Oh, that's such a relatable story. I think every learner has been there. Freezing is not about knowledge. It's about fear. Fear of mistakes, fear of judgment, fear of sounding silly.
Absolutely. And here's the important thing to remember. Freezing is normal. It doesn't mean you're bad at English. It means your brain is trying to protect you from embarrassment. But we can train our brain to relax.
Yes, so let's explore why this happens. First, learners often translate in their heads. They think in their native language, then try to change it into English. That takes time, and by the time they want to speak, the moment has passed.
Exactly. Second, learners want perfection. They don't want to make any mistake, so they check every word in their mind before speaking. But while they are checking, the conversation keeps moving, and suddenly, they freeze.
And third, nervous body reactions. When you feel nervous, your heart beats faster, your mouth gets dry, and your brain stops focusing. That physical stress makes speaking even harder.
That's so true. But here's the good news. You can stop freezing. It takes practice, but there are simple strategies.
Let's share some of them. First, breathing. When you feel the freeze coming, take one slow breath. It gives your brain a moment to calm down and gives you power to say even one word.
I like that. Second, start small. If you can't make a full sentence, just say one word. For example, if someone asks, "What do you want to eat?" and you can't think of a whole answer, just say, "Pizza." It's better than silence.
Yes, silence is the enemy. Even a small word breaks the freeze and builds confidence. Later, you can add more words. Pizza, please. Then, I want pizza, please. Step by step, you grow.
Another tip is to prepare some rescue sentences. For example, if you don't know what to say, you can use, "Sorry, can you repeat that?" or "Give me a moment, please." These short sentences buy you time.
I love that idea. I remember when I was learning French, I had one rescue phrase, un moment, s'il vous plaît. It saved me many times because people were patient when I used it.
That's such a smart trick, and learners can make a little list of these phrases for different situations. School, work, travel. It helps you feel more prepared so you freeze less.
Yes, and another way to stop freezing is to practice speaking under pressure. For example, talk to yourself in front of a mirror. Set a timer for 1 minute and describe your day in English without stopping.
That's a powerful exercise. It trains your brain to keep going even if you make mistakes. And it shows you that mistakes are not the end of the world.
Speaking of mistakes, let's return to the pain point we talked about earlier. Many learners freeze because they are afraid of mistakes. They think, if I say it wrong, people will laugh.
Yes, that's a huge problem. But the truth is, most people don't care if you make mistakes. In fact, they admire your effort. When I was learning Spanish, the waiter didn't laugh at me. He just waited and smiled.
Same here. In Germany, my teacher didn't laugh when I froze. She encouraged me, and my classmates were supportive too. The fear was all in my own head.
Exactly. So, listeners, please remember mistakes are proof that you are learning. They are not shameful, they are valuable.
And every time you speak, even with mistakes, you are training your brain. One day, you will notice you don't freeze anymore.
That's the beauty of practice. But let's give more practical strategies. Here's another one: think in English. If you practice thinking in English about small things during the day, then when you speak, you don't need to translate.
Yes. For example, when I make tea in the morning, I say in my head, boil water, put in the tea bag, wait 2 minutes. That way, English words are already active in my brain.
That's a great habit. And one more: practice with safe people. Talk with friends, teachers, or language partners who support you. The more safe practice you have, the less you freeze in real situations.
Absolutely. When I practiced with my best friend in school, I made lots of silly mistakes, but because she was kind, I laughed and tried again. That made me braver in class.
Laughter is a wonderful tool. If you can laugh at your mistakes, you won't freeze.
So true. And listeners, if you ever freeze, don't beat yourself up. Smile, breathe, and try again. That's progress.
Yes, and maybe one last tip: celebrate small wins. If you manage to answer one question without freezing, celebrate it. Step by step, those wins add up.
I love that. Small wins create big confidence. And confidence is the real secret to stop freezing.
Let's wrap up with a final message. Freezing is normal, but it doesn't have to control you. With practice, breathing, rescue phrases, and confidence, you can break free.
And remember, dear listeners, your voice matters. Even if you speak slowly, even if you make mistakes, your words are valuable. Don't let freezing silence you.
Speak one word, then a sentence, then a whole conversation.
And we'll be cheering for you every step of the way.
Thank you for listening to today's episode.
Thank you, everyone. Keep speaking, keep growing, and don't be afraid.
Until next time.